Good afternoon and welcome all in the webinar organizing virtual classroom for children with special needs. As all of you are aware, amid pandemic, whole world is facing lots of problems. Each and every country, state and department is dealing with problems at their own level. But we all are trying our best to give our best. COVID 19, as you know, COVID 19 locked us in our houses for a long time. But as well said, that when one door closes, another opens. Same thing happened here with us only. And the main role playing here is technology. And then when it comes to the education, children are being trained in school and with lot of physical activities and tools. But due to pandemic, technology helped in continuing the learning process, which would have held back the learning of our students and their overall development. But in all this, children with special needs are facing lots of problems, as we are from special field, as they need one-to-one correspondence, physical prompting, verbal prompting, gestural prompts. It was really very difficult to catch up with their learning pace. We faced a lot of issues with them. But with the help of parents, teachers, and technology, we are successful in working with them and seeking positive results from them. Now, there is still more scope and for improvement in the area of preparing e-worksheets, then e-lessons, evaluations, and also in using the online platform more efficiency and more efficiently. Then this webinar is organizing, keeping all this in our mind. I hope you all will benefit from this webinar. I would like to request you to post all your queries in the chat box. Later, our resource person will answer all the questions. Then please fill the feedback form before leaving the meeting. Now, I welcome Dr. Hemant Singh Keshwal, Principal in charge, NIPID MSCC. Sir, please allow us to start the program and please welcome our resource person, Dr. Sumita Sharma. Thanks a lot. Sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you. Good afternoon, all of you, in this webinar on organizing virtual classroom. We have been facing COVID-19 pandemic since last 1.5 years. Our life have totally changed. The work protocol, the system have totally changed. Education, conventional education have come to standstill. And we are now more dependent on internet or online work modules. And today's workshop have been organized with this objective to help parents, the teachers, the rehab professionals, how to interact with their clients, with their students, with their children, so that online education can be facilitated. This has become a system now which will be continued in future also. Even we get out of a pandemic, but online system will continue. So we have to upgrade ourselves with the latest technology and start upgrading our knowledge, upgrading our skills, so that we maintain pace with the time. And at the same time, we can teach our children more effectively. Today, we have with us Dr. Sumita Sharma. I welcome Dr. Sumita Sharma. And good morning, I should say to you. You are in Finland, so I can understand very early, it might be early morning. So welcome to this webinar, Dr. Sumita. Dr. Sumita is a technocrat and a doctoral scholar, postdoctoral scholar from University of Oulu, Finland. She has completed her PhD in interactive technology from Tampere University, Finland, and she has been working on interactive learning and software development to empower marginalized section of the society. Her support and guidance have been very helpful for us in our previous programs also. She has been very resourceful. In fact, many of you who have attended her programs still are in touch with her. She has been very helpful to all our previous participants, and I believe this is a beginning of our new series on how to facilitate online interaction or online teaching. In future also, we shall be conducting similar programs. This is just a webinar where over 400 participants have enrolled. Many of them could not join through this platform, so they are on YouTube. But I should say that seeing this tremendous response from the participants, we are overwhelmed with your response and assure you that Dr. Smita's webinar would be of great help to you in managing classroom and organizing classroom. Because I understand with our limited resources, it is difficult to organize classes in remote area, particularly in a country like India, where network becomes a major challenge in remote areas. And conducting classes with complete accountability and monitoring is also a very big challenge. You may have good system at your end, but at the user end, we are lacking we have lot of lacunae. But yes, we need to learn with the time, and this COVID has given us an opportunity to work online, to upgrade our computing skills, and how best we can give our output with limited resources, and how best we can work. This is what we have learned in last 1.5 years. I now welcome once again to Dr. Sumita Sharma and hand over the platform for this webinar, organizing virtual classroom. And I believe it would be a wonderful interactive session for you, ma'am. So, Dr. Sumita, now the platform is yours. Please continue. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hemant, for that wonderful and kind welcome. Thank you also, Meena ma'am, for allowing me to be here today and to discuss and share these different online virtual resources. Just to quickly check, am I audible? Is the sound quality okay?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's you are quite,
yes.
you are audible and you have good quality sound.
Okay, that's good. So I will share my screen. Today is a interactive session. So let's see. I hope I'm able to um, cater to all the goals. There was a, a tall order. Let's see if I'm able to successfully execute it today. Um, so I'm just thinking, do you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So
No, ma'am.
you don't?
No, ma'am.
Just check.
Okay.
It is visible to all,
It's
I
visible.
believe.
It's very much visible.
Yes, ma'am, it is
No,
visible.
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
No, ma'am.
Those
It's
who
not
have not
possible.
visible, rejoin again. Rejoin again.
And also check your network.
Okay. So the first screen that I'm sharing is just my name and the university where I am. And there's a picture in the background of a frozen sea, which I think is kind of interesting to see. So just a little bit, as mentioned already, about my background. So in my PhD research work, I looked at collaborative educational applications for underserved children, focusing on children in India. And some of this work was shared in the previous seminar that I was a part of. And the material for that can actually be shared again to all the participants in this seminar. I will give more information about that later. But today we'll talk about organizing virtual classroom for children with special needs. Right now in this seminar, I will present different types of tools that can be used. Of course, they have to be catered then to the specific group of children that you work with. So these tools are available online. Many of them have educator accounts, which you have special sort of special accounts with the educator accounts. So you can use them quite freely and get a lot of good premium features with an educator account. There's one tool also in Hindi that is available. So the focus has been on what is available online, what are teachers and educators using, during the pandemic and otherwise also for online teaching. And it's not catered specifically for children with special needs, but as you will see, some of the tools are very appropriate for them. So just very quickly, a terminology that might be used, or the one that I kind of use is like special needs, developmental disabilities, neurodevelopment disabilities, and neurodiverse. So these are all terminologies that have been used in research when referring to individuals with or children with special needs. Usually we follow the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM version 5 definition of special needs. This is just a bit of background. I think most of you are familiar with this. Now the question that I always like to answer first, because I am from a technology background, so I am definitely very positive about the potential of technology. So I like to also talk about why we should use technology. So of course there can be both positive and negative aspects to using technology, but here are some of the positive aspects. So technology can provide a safe and controlled environment. It can be predictable. It can be more appealing and exciting. Using a phone or using a gamified applications, so applications that actually feel like games. And there's one really good example of that in the seminar today. They can be used for teaching and for assessment. Another benefit of using online virtual platforms or any sort of technology is that it can be customized and personalized for individuals, for your own needs. And technology does not get tired of repetition. So if a child has to repeat things multiple times, the software or the game or the application is very, you can use it any number of times. It won't get tired like a person could. And of course, as we have seen in this pandemic, it's been the only way to reach children using devices, technology, and the internet. Now, when we talk about children with special needs and the focus that technology has had so far, it's been on social interaction, cognitive skills, mathematical skills, life skills, and self-discovery. And these different skills and interactions can be supported by different types of technology. So when I say the word technology, usually it can mean any of this: tablets and computers, gesture-based technology, virtual reality headsets, the one where you wear a headset and you're transformed into this different virtual environment. It can be through eye gaze, so you wear special glasses. It can be a smart room or any other technology. But just to mention, today's focus is on online virtual platforms. So things that will work from a typical browser and on any device like tablet, mobile phone, or computer. So this is what we'll focus on today. So as you might have experienced, online virtual platforms, there are many of them that have been used during the pandemic. Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Meet, what we're using right now, and even WhatsApp has been used quite consistently. So in the first part of this seminar, I will just quickly go through these video calling services to mention a few features that you might not be familiar with. Then the main focus today is on these collaborative tools. So looking at different types of collaborative tools that can be used for sessions, for lessons and teaching, but also for assessments and evaluation. So all of these tools are available for free. You can create an account and use them. Some of the tools also, like I mentioned, have special educator accounts, which is very good because you can sign up as an educator and get for free some very good features. And we will actually use all of these today in the seminar. So very quickly, I just wanted to go through the video calling softwares. You might be familiar with these, but I thought maybe I'll mention a few sort of features that have been quite recently added. So for example, in Microsoft Teams, of course, you can have the video call, you can share screen and you can share videos. You can have breakout rooms for discussion. You can have group chat or one-to-one chat. But it also recently added an accessibility feature, which is called live auto caption. Here, if you see my screen and if you can see my cursor, it's on the left, the CC, turn off live captions and turn on live captions. So this is where this is how you can turn on and off live captions. The only language available right now is English, but it works pretty well. So this is what it would look like. In your Microsoft Teams session, if you have videos, even without videos, it works. And it also has author attribution. So it can identify who is talking based on where the sound is coming from, display the name, and display what the person is saying. So this, of course, I think is a very good accessibility feature, especially when you have low bandwidth. At least you can read if you miss the audio. So it's very nice to have this feature. The only thing is that these are not saved in any file, so you can't have a transcript of the video meeting afterwards. It's generated automatically. It's using an AI system, so there could be some errors with different accents and different speeds, but on the whole, it works quite well. Then, of course, Zoom is also another tool that's very familiar. It has almost the same features as Teams, and it also has live auto captions. For Zoom live auto captions, you need to have a premium account and the host can set the captions. With the Teams, I think all Microsoft accounts now have the live captioning, which is good. With Zoom, you need a premium account and it can only be set by the meeting host. Again, the only language available right now is English. And yesterday I saw that Google Meet also has this live auto captions and you can try it now. I will share my screen and show you how it works. So if you go to the three dots, I think you can see my screen and see the Google browser. So if you go to the three dots here, then you can see captions and you can turn the captions on. and it has multiple languages, and we can say English, apply. And now you should see on your screen captions. You can also see them on my screen. They are a bit slow, but maybe you can see them here. I think if I do full screen, it's a little bit better because now the notifications are hiding the captions. But here's one way to have live auto captions. So and this can be very helpful, like I said, if there's a bad internet connection, then at least you can read what the other person is saying. Of course, WhatsApp is very familiar to everyone. There are no new accessibility features in WhatsApp video calling. So not a lot to say for this, but I can mention from research that I have seen online, WhatsApp was used quite a lot during the pandemic for teaching. So even more so than I would say Teams and Zoom, especially in parts of the world where internet has been an issue. Okay, now we go to the fun part. So now I will go through different online collaborative tools for educators. And I think the best way to really get a feel for these tools is to use them. So there are some very small, very short questions that you can answer. But let's see, I will go through them one by one. The first one I wanted to mention, okay, yes, so here's a list of the tools. So the tools can be thought of in two ways. They are tools for collaborative lessons. So whiteboards, so like an online whiteboard, and that includes Jamboards, that's from Google, Mirrorboard, and Padlet. And Padlet is available also in Hindi, and we will try all of these today. With these whiteboards, you can ideate together, you can create designs together. You can also have simple tasks and activities for students to complete. And the good thing is it is an online whiteboard, so you can have an audience, you can have many people sharing the whiteboard at the same time. And you can also guide the interaction. So for example, like you will see, we will have a video call and a whiteboard at the same time, and we will see how this feels. Then you can look at collaborative tools for quizzes and questions. So Kahoot and Socrative are two very popular ones. These are the ones that we will use. There are limitations to the free account, but I thought these will give you a good idea of what is possible, how to make quizzes more engaging and fun for online classrooms, and even it can be used during an actual, like in a face-to-face classroom as well. If they're using mobile devices, you can quiz participants, and you can have different types of quizzes and different types of assessments done automatically through these services. And it's very engaging because it's very visual and it feels like a game. So we will also try these, and there are some questions for you to answer, but of course, it's just a fun quiz. So first, let's try a Jamboard. So I have made a Jamboard already, and this is the link. I will put this link on the chat to Google Meet. So everybody can join the Jamboard. I'm not sure if the link came out nicely, but let's see if I can make a QR code for the link, which might be easier to use. Yes, so here's the QR code on my screen. This can be used to join the Jamboard. So please use this link and see if you're able to join the Jamboard. And this is what the Jamboard looks like. It's open to everyone. Anybody can join it. Let me try with the link again. And see if it goes. Link is not working. Yeah, I think because it does that break. Let me try again. No, this will not work. Okay, let's try once more. Let me share from here. Okay. Let's see if this one works. I think this will work now. So you can click on the link and you will come to this I can see some people are joining. That's fantastic. So this is a Jamboard. You can have multiple Jamboards just by going next, next. And these are basically whiteboards, shared whiteboards. And as you can see, this is open to everybody. So what you can do is you can add a text box by selecting this and adding text here. Now you can reselect that text box and move it around. You can add another text box. You can also have a laser pointer which fades. So when you're talking, you can point to things. You can add objects, images, links. You can add anything here. You can upload and add many things. You can add a sticky note. Okay, I will just close my camera because my laptop is getting a little bit too heated because of all the things that are running on my system. But let's go back to the Jamboard. So you can write, yes, somebody found the pen function, fantastic. Please try your hand at this and you can say and write and add things. So this is one way you can create entire lessons by, for example, adding, information and tasks for students to do. And it's very simple to create, and you can create multiple cards. So if I go to the next frame, I will have other cards. So yes. And also easy to add text, images. You can add images from here, from your computer, or even through Google Photos or Google Images. So lots of ways to make this very interactive. Yes, I think someone added an image. Very nice. But someone also, there was a question here that's deleted. Okay. Yes, so this was the Jamboard. Thank you, who's erasing. But yes, that's great. Please try it. This is just to try and get an idea of how you can use this tool online. As you can see, it's very simple and very easy. And it comes with all Google accounts. So you can use this if you want to stay in the Google platform. It can be question and answers. It can be tasks, dragging and dropping items, sorting items. It can be many sort of cognitive skills and lessons that can be planned through this. Okay, so let's move to the next one. I will leave the Jamboard open if you would like to try it, but let's go now, continue with the presentation. Okay, this was a reminder to myself. The next thing I want to talk about is a Miro or Myroboard. Sorry, is there a question? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually I typed it, but it seems it missed. Ma'am, is it a fact that when we are using a Jamboard, usually our devices tend to get hacked? Is it true?
Actually, no, not with the Jamboard.
I have tried it and I got a feedback about this. So if you could just help us out with that. Thank you.
Yes. Sorry, could you repeat? You mean devices get hot, right?
Ma'am, hacked.
Hacked?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a great question. So I haven't heard of this, but definitely what happens is with any Google Drive. So with Google, you can have, for example, if you have a Google Drive, this is one of the Google groups that we have created from the previous seminar. You can add documents, sheets, slides, forms. It's the sharing that you need to be careful about. So for example, this Jamboard right now, as you can see, anybody on the internet can edit with this link. So I had to keep it open because I didn't have everybody's email IDs. When it's open like this, yes, there can be possibilities that somebody else can access this because it's an open link on the internet. But if you set the right sharing privileges, so for example, here, I won't change it, but you can see anybody with the link can be viewer. Then they're not able to hack it. And in a case when you're planning your lessons, you would probably already have your students' IDs and information. So you can share with specific people as well. So when you share in a private group with specific people, then nobody else can hack into the account. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Just to mention that I don't see chats when I'm sharing my screen because I'm using different browsers. So please just ask your questions. And this was a very good question. Thank you for asking that one. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
now we'll go to the Mirrorboard. And this is very similar to the Jamboard. It requires a paid account. So I hope you can still see the presentation. Okay, yes. It requires a paid account, but it can be free for educators and take some time to verify. But I recommend this also. It is more powerful than the Jamboard. The Jamboard is very new. It has a few features, but the Mirrorboard is sort of more, I would say, advanced. So it's like, again, it's a digital whiteboard. And here are some examples of how it was used. So here you can see somebody had created like these tasks. It's like a lesson being planned on the Mirrorboard. So you have to drag and drop objects based on something. I didn't understand the task, but this is just an example. And here also you can see you can add post-it notes and also you can collaborate with other educators on lesson plans and also create lesson plans on the Mirrorboard. So let's try the Mirrorboard. I will paste this link. It might ask you for a password. I'm not sure, but if it does, the password is 1234. So I will paste the link again now on the chat. And also let's try a QR code because if this is on YouTube and there are other people who want to join, maybe it works better with the QR code and you can use your phone. So here is the QR code for it. The link is in the chat and also the link is visible. Oh, this would hide the QR code. Let me do it this way. Yes, so now both the QR code and link are visible and the link is also in the chat. And with that, you can go to this Myroboard. So I will just leave this open for a couple more seconds for people to join and then we'll see the Myroboard. So here we are in the Myroboard. Oh, fantastic. I can see there are many people here. And with the Myroboard, you can have a very long board. As you can see, this space is very big. This is again for collaboration, for creating lesson plans. You can duplicate the boards and you can zoom in and zoom out. So similar to the Jamboard, it has all those features of commenting, coloring, adding notes, quite similar, but as you can see, it's all one big space. With the Jamboards, we had different pages. This is all one big space, and you can also get a lot of people to come and collaborate. So how do you work on these post-its? You can pick a post-it from a sticky note from here, pick any color, add it, and then you can just double click and start adding text. You can try and answer the questions. You can just say hello. You can add whatever you like. There are also some ready-made templates that you can use when you're creating the Myroboard. So here you can see there are some templates that are already there, like mind maps, reverse brainstorming. Here are different flowcharts and mind maps. So there are a lot of templates that you can also use, and you can create entire lessons. You will find a lot of resources with Myroboard for creating lesson plans online. I found some of them as I showed in the previous slide here. So it's very easy to find. So here, yes. And then you can also comment. Very good. Somebody found the comment also. Yes. And you can reply to comments. So it's easy to also have a entire conversation around different points. So as you can see, this can be used again for teachers to collaborate, but also for creating lesson plans and for teaching. So different ways that you can use the board. And again, there's a pen feature. You can choose the size of the board. You can add a comment. You can upload images, pictures, you can add links. You can do a lot, as you can see from here. You can also connect to different apps and different things. So this is a very, very versatile whiteboard. And as you might experience, it's very easy to use, just like the Jamboard here. I will just show this again once. As you can see, the Jamboard. Very similar features here also in the Myroboard. With the Myroboard, it makes sense to sign up and get an educator account. Otherwise, I think you can only have 3 boards, which can be quite limiting. Okay, let's spend a few more minutes just trying out the Myroboard. We can see different things. You can add emojis, whole list of emojis here. Adding text, just using a text box. And you will also find a lot of YouTube tutorials that explain all of these, but I thought it would be nice to try them out and just see. Okay, please continue with the Myroboard. I will continue with the presentation. So you won't be able to see the Myroboard. I quickly check if there's any question on chat. Okay, let's continue. Another thing that I found online, kind of similar to these whiteboards, but a little bit different because it's more about collaboration and adding conversations and comments, was this application called Padlet. So you can, just like in a whiteboard, you can add lots of different images, documents, you can even add music. You can do a lot of things also with Padlets. So let's try the same thing in a Padlet now. So I will put a Padlet link into the chat, and here is a Padlet. But let's do this one first and then go to the one with the QR code. Okay, so now here's another application, Padlet. Somebody says they can't hear anything. Are you able to follow the auto live captions? Indrani says that she can't hear anything. Can others hear me? Okay.
Yes,
good.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
Yeah. So now here's a Padlet link. Please try that. I'll put also a QR code for the Padlet here. Those who might be using YouTube, so you can use the QR code. I'll leave it up for a couple of seconds. And then let's go to the Padlet testing. So this is the Padlet. It's now in Hindi because I changed the language, but it's available in Hindi and in English. And you can add different sort of questions and different, from here, you say plus, and then you add a new topic. I don't have a Hindi keyboard right now, but yes. And then you can comment on it from here. And here you see one comment, and you can like or dislike. And there are lots of other features as well to this. So for example, you can decide if there should be voting, if there should be like, if it should be a star rating, or if it should be some sort of a grade from 1 to 5 on what is being added here.
I cannot see your presentation, ma'am.
Okay. Let me see again what's happening. Resume. Yes. Sorry about that. Resume presenting. Okay, so here you see a Padlet screen now. And this is what I was talking about. So it's a little bit similar. It's for collaboration, not as many things that you can add, but you can add text. These could be questions, and it could be based on answers or voting. And here I wanted to show you what happens? Let's see. I will just reload this. Yes. I will show it in the Hindi one. So this was a Hindi Padlet. Here is the QR code for this second Padlet. And here I will just show the menu, it might open up. So this is how you add a new comment. And from the settings, you can see there are different features. So for each comment, you can add voting, star, grading, or a like button. And so here's another way of like kind of collaborating online. The good thing about Padlets is it's available in Hindi. So I think that could be quite useful. And for this also, there should be YouTube videos to try. So as you can see, compared to the Myroboard, which was the most versatile, and the Jamboard, which was also very visual, Padlet is a little bit different, but maybe it works for certain lessons or certain tasks that you want to do online. So this is also a collaborative online whiteboard. There are many of these out there, but these were the ones that I found to be the most commonly used and the ones that I have used in some form in the last year. So this Miro or Myroboard, however it's pronounced, this one has been used quite a lot in conferences and in a lot of places, with a lot of people, with a lot of designers. So as you can see, it's probably the most advanced and has the most features. Jamboard is quite new. I think it makes sense if you're on the sort of Google platform and using Google Education and Google Meet. Jamboard might be better. Padlet is also new, but it's great way to kind of keep collaboration in check, for looking at different tasks or different to-do lists, maintaining some sort of a schedule. So for sort of collaborative management, I think Padlet would be very, very good to use because you can have discussions on topics or tasks and people can comment and they're all in the same place. So it's a little bit better than emails if there's something that is very collaborative and you want to discuss. Okay. So let's continue. I will just check the Meet if there's anything. Okay, nothing there. And this is really nice. Somebody added a picture. Lovely. Okay. So all of these links are on. You can try with the Jamboard, Mirrorboard, or Padlet. But let's move on and let's talk now a little bit about the online tools for assessment and evaluation. Of course, they can also be used for teaching. As you will see, there are two that we will look at in this seminar. Of course, there are many, many more that are available online, but these two are just an example. So first one is called Kahoot. It's for making quizzes and assessments fun. So you have to go to this link and I think you have to enter this PIN code and then it works. But let me try. I will put it on chat what you have to do. So this is the Kahoot. I created an account for it. This is what it looks like. I'm just going to check that I'm still sharing. Yes. And you can see. So this is the Kahoot. And I created a quiz. So here there was, you can create quizzes. You can add different actions. So here's a quiz that I created already, but here, for example, you can create these are folders, collections of quizzes that are there already. And you can always create new quizzes. But and you can see here, you can edit, rename, share, and you can also share quizzes. So these can be shared with educators. So you can, together create an evaluation plan, not just one person. So two people with different accounts can work on the same quiz. And then when you have created your quiz, you press play. So you can play a live game or you can assign it for self-paced learning. So you can try different ways to play this game, which is a quiz game. So let's do teach. So now it's here. You can also do team versus team where you share devices, or player versus player where everybody's on their own device. So let's do classic. And there's some different things like you can add a nickname, you can show the question and answers, there's music in the lobby when you wait, and you can automatically move through questions and different sort of options. So now, yes, this is where it will say, I think it might be a different pin, but let's see. Okay, this is the pin. So now you have to go to, this link, Kahoot.it, and then enter this game pin. Okay, so the quiz will start, as you can see here, in 5 seconds. Please keep joining and trying it out. It's really fun. And we can also play it here. So the first question is, what is 5 times 10? And you can then select. You have 30 seconds and you can select. Fantastic. So the people playing were able to get this. So this is real time. Of course, we can also do assessments, self-paced. So this is timed, so it'll go very quickly. And we can play this again. And as you can see, people are assigned random names, and then you can see how they're doing. So they get points for each correct one. And you can have multiple choice questions, true and false. And I think there were also other types of questions where multiple choice with one answer is correct, multiple choice with multiple answers are correct. So it's the fun way to, look at how well the learning is going. Here's a trick question.
Ma'am, can you please repeat how to enter into this Kahoot game, ma'am?
Yes, so you go to Kahoot.it, and this is the pin. Do you see at the bottom of the screen? It's very small, so I will put this also on the chat.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So here you can see the majestic owl got 4 out of 4. Well done. And here you can go back to podium and see how people did. What was the assessment? And you can play the quiz again, so it can keep on going. So every question was answered. You can play again in 3 seconds and get feedback. So here it's starting again. So if you were not able to try it the first time, please join now. I'm hoping it's the same pin. Let's try. Yes, 3443158. So Kahoot.it 3443158 is the pin. Sorry, I missed it on the chat. People were asking for the pin. Sorry about that. So keep joining, try it out. We can do this once more, as now we have more people. I'll just check if there's something on chat. Okay. Yes. And these names are generated randomly. So you can also have students write in their names. So you can actually identify the students. Of course, this is just for fun. So it was done randomly, but there is a way to get, for example, proper assessments of students. And the quizzes can be quite long or quite short, and how much time you want to assign to each question. It's very, very flexible how to make this. After we play this once more, actually, while people are still joining in, let's quickly check the Kahoot interface. So this is what it looks like when you go on the home. It's quite, I would say it's a very busy interface. There's an introduction video as well. So there's lots of things happening in the interface. It will take time to figure out, but here is the create button. This is how you create a quiz. And you can create it for assessments, for polls, introducing a new topic. So you can also teach. And there are templates: practice spelling and adjectives with puzzles, teach with slides. So there's a very different ways to use Kahoot. So the one I did was this quiz, which was this formative assessment. Of course, it can be polls with slides. Let's try what this looks like. So this is what it looks like when you, this is a quiz again. So I didn't get to go teach with slides. Yes. So you can have a slide here in the quiz. So you can have some information and you can decide if it's like this. Different parts of the slides are revealed in different questions. Or it's revealed at different times. Anyway, so there's multiple ways to try to work with Kahoot. And as you can see on the left, you get the whole template and you can just edit, just change this, type in what you want to say, and then you can select which is the correct answer, maybe this one, and you can change all of them, change all the text and the answers. And this is how you create it. Okay, let's go back. Okay, great. So we have started the quiz the second time, and here you can see how it's working. And here you can see how many people are answering, and on the left is how much time is left. And these slides can be changed. These were just the ones that were generated by the application. But in this one here, you can add something more. So it could be a question about this image. And as you might use in special education, colors and objects. So you can also use that to match the answers. So there can be multiple ways to use this. It's very flexible and very visual. And maybe after this quiz, we can have a quick, on the chat, maybe you can write how your experience has been with this. Has it been easy to use the quiz? Was it fun? I think you can also set the time, and I accidentally set this for 1 minute. So this is why the counter is taking some time on this question. So let's check here. Maybe there is also, yes, here it is. You can set a time limit to the questions. 10 seconds. So how much time? Quiz, true or false, puzzle, type the answer, opinion, word cloud, brainstorm, open-ended, or a slide. Here you can test. So if it's type the answer, they have to type an answer. Different types of question types. In the word cloud, then people can add free form text and it forms, shows what people have been adding. This would have been nice to see. Okay, so this was the final question.
Ma'am, I have one doubt, ma'am, in this. Actually, in this, there are a number of questions we are giving, but only for the one subject we can create, or else other all subjects, like different subjects can also we can use in this.
Yes, you can.
Like
it's open to you. Yes.
Like in English, social science, like that.
Yes, you can create it for any subject.
Where it will can create it?
From here. So as I was showing, okay, I will close this quiz now. So very good, everybody who did this. Let's close it now. So here, when you go to when you create an account with Kahoot, this is what you will see. Let's go to the home. This is what you will see. This is what opens up, and you can create a new quiz. So you can create it for assessment, you can create polling, you can create puzzles, different templates. So when you do, it opens up a new template quiz. Then in this, you can put any language on any question on any topic in any language, really. I mean, English, like, I think that will also work because you are adding it yourself, and you can have an image that gives more information. Question and maybe some image, and then multiple answer choice. So this is multiple answer. You can also do true and false, and different types are here. Entering an answer, typing an answer, and then you can say what you expect the answer, the words they should have when somebody's entering and typing. So different types of inputs can be taken. And different ways of collaborative. So it can be, you can make as many, and you can see here 9 questions. You can add more questions, whichever type you like. You can keep adding. So it can be one very long quiz or a short quiz or multiple quizzes, different topics, different subjects. It's up to you how you want to use this. And then
one more doubt. This app, how much level of education level we can use it?
It's up to you. This has been used also in like university. It's any sort of evaluation or assessment can be moved to this online way. So like multiple choice questions are used, K-12, K-12, even higher for tests. It's just, it's really up to you what you want, how you want to use this. Of course, maybe, I mean, I've seen this being used with researchers in a conference when they were introducing the app, and everybody was very excited. And these are all adults and we got very excited about playing a quiz game. So I think it can be used with any age group. Of course, after some time, it might get boring for the older kids, but it might still be fun because it's like a game.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, there are still 3 more to go, and we have about 20 minutes. So thank you so much for the Kahoot. I'm very happy you liked it. This actually came from a research that was happening in Europe. So it's very interesting. And but of course, you might need a premium account. You can see it has different, like $5 per month per educator or something. I just have the free basic one. So of course, with premium accounts, you get more features, but maybe it's still fine. It's up to 50 players. And you can see what's in the free. And you can always create multiple accounts. Everybody has multiple email IDs. So this could be one way to have an engaging assessment plan. Something similar to Kahoots is this other one called Socrative. So let's continue. So Socrative, very similar quiz. there's some sort of a race, different things, multiple choice, true or false, or short answer. So different ways to use this. And in this one, I will put the link. So basically each teacher has a room, and this is my room name. So you have to go there and enter Sharma 2684. So you go here, and then if I do launch, let's see, I made a quiz yesterday. Hopefully it launches. Yes. So here's a quiz. So I've only made one quiz, so it only shows one. Of course, you can have multiple quizzes. So as you saw, let me just show you again. This is my dashboard. When I open up, this is my room name, Sharma 2684. And then I just say launch. So I will just launch the quiz that I made. And let's see how this goes. I can choose instant feedback or teacher paced, and what it requires, different ways, open navigation, instant feedback. Let's not require names, and you can see question feedbacks as well. It can also be teacher paced, and then you have names or not names. So depending on the teacher has to go to the next question. But let's try this without names and see how this goes. And you can also do one attempt, show the final score. You can shuffle the questions, so no same students have the questions in the same order, but I won't do that. Let's just see how this feels. So it's a little bit different. I think the Kahoot was more fun, colorful, maybe more for children. This is a bit more, as you can see, simpler. So I think if you go to the quiz, then you can see people are answering here. It's not as interactive as Kahoot. But I think once I finish, then am I able to see? So this is the room. So here you can see, and if you had names, then you can see how the students are doing, and you get each student's percentage, and then you also get class total for each question. So I will just leave this on. And actually, for those that didn't join, let's try it on this system as well. So please try it on your phones, but I will also try it here now because it was easier to see with Kahoot, the questions. And if you're not able to join, then you will miss out. So I will show you what it looks like. So when you join, this is the quiz. It has started already. And it says, what is the longest river in India? That's the first question. Total distance covered by a river within India. So let's pick this and you can submit the answer. So actually the right answer is the Ganges, but let's pick a wrong answer. And then you can see it actually gives you an explanation. And this also you can put in. So it explains why is this wrong? What is the correct answer? And why is it the correct answer? So you also get an explanation. True and false. Again, you can add an explanation there. This one I didn't add. I will show you how I made the quiz as well. So here's a picture, not a really good one, but you can add images. And it says, this is an outline of which Indian state. Any guesses on the chat? If you're not playing the quiz, would you like to guess? Would someone like to guess? And there's a question there by Suman. Can we use this on mobile phones? Yes, you can. And thank you, Kerala is the right answer. So Kahoots and this both, sorry, this is not the right link. Where is the right link? Now I'm trying to go back to the Socrates. It's here. Yes, the answer is Kerala. So all of the applications I have shared today can also be used on mobile phone because they're all from a browser. So, and I think Kahoots has a mobile application and maybe I have to check, but maybe Socrative also has a mobile application, but it can be used. And the fourth question is, Hindi is the most widely spoken language in India, true or false? And then it explains why this answer is correct. Okay. So this was Socrative, and you can see the score and the percentage, and this is what it looks like on the student side. And here we can see what it looks like on the teacher side. Oh, sorry, it logged me out. Let me log in again. So here are the results from the teacher side. So you can see here how well students did. So this is another basically app that can be used, and it can be used on a browser. It can be used on a mobile phone, on a laptop, and you can create different quizzes. So of course, pick your favorite or pick the one that has the most features for free or has an educator account. There can be a couple of things you have to use to decide which one you want to use. And of course, the age group of children. As you can see, there was a very good question about age, what can be used, with whom, the age groups. And I was thinking that now if you see maybe Socrative is better for older children, it looks more like a test. And then Kahoot is more fun, playful, it's like a game. But of course, depends on what the students like and what you would like to use. Okay. Now the last thing, since we have been talking about assessments and evaluations, and so I wanted to also look at Google Forms. I think you are all familiar with this, but here is a form. I will just copy this link. So this is the form, and I will put this link, sorry, it just opens the form. I will put this link on the chat, and through this link, okay, I'm having a little trouble. Okay, through this link, you can sign up and send me your email, and I will share with that email then everything, basically all these slides. So, okay, this link didn't work. Let me try again. I think it's because it puts a space. Yes, now this should work. Okay, so if you click on this link, you are then taken to this form, and this form is just for me to be able to share the slides with you. So all the slides with all the information will be shared to the email ID that you sent. So please check you put the right email ID, and I can share this slide set. So you have all the links. I might close all these links, so they are not going to be open the whole time. These are all going to be closed as a security measure, as rightly pointed out already. But you will at least know the names of the applications and things. So, and also I wanted to mention that there is a Google group, and I can add you to the Google group, and it actually has slides from the previous lecture. And also I have made, from last time, it was more about research, and I put all the research papers here. So if you're happy, we can also join this research group, this Google group, to get more information about my work and about technology. And you can also post questions to that group if you have any questions. And that's one way we can stay in touch. Okay, so now we have about 15 minutes, little less, and we have 2 more things to do. So we covered most of the parts of the seminar, like these different evaluation and assessment techniques, of course, different ways to collaborate online, different forms of whiteboards and their different features. And now I wanted to show you, yes, okay, let's now see if there are any questions. So if you have any questions, please just speak or put it to the chat. Okay, we can continue, and if something comes up, please ask. So now I wanted to share with you 2 more applications, and these are virtual online spaces. So we have been in this Google Meet, and it's a very different experience because not everybody has the video on, not everybody has the bandwidth for the video, and you just see faces, right? So there has been now discussions on having different ways to connect virtually online and feel like we are closer together. So there are 2 that are popular, Kumo Space and Mozilla Hubs. I will do Mozilla Hub first, and then we can go to Kumo Space, because It might actually be difficult to join two at the same time. So let's first do the Mozilla Hub. So I will show you how this works. I have it open already. And this is the Mozilla Hub. So you just go to this link. Actually, let me create the room. So I have not signed up. Of course, you can sign up for this, but you can also just go to the link. And this is the link. And you can create your own room. So this is just to see the room. But I will create a room and then we can try it. Then
Not
you go
able to
create-
see your screen.
Okay,
Please present your screen.
Let me present again. It seems like someone else is presenting. So if they stop, let me resume presenting. Okay, I think it's back now. Yes. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so here I put this link. So this is just a link to the Yes, I realize the problem that's happening is that because it's trying to access my camera and it's the same browser, it's having a little bit of a problem. I will just change my browser. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Great.
you can
Ma'am.
That's good.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will just, yeah, I will just change my browser because I think I'm trying to do now video calling from the same browser to multiple applications, so it doesn't like that. So I will close it here and, okay, yes. So let's share this. So now I'm just on the Mozilla page. I haven't signed in. I will just go to create room and it creates a room automatically. You can also sign in and kind of create rooms based on certain things, add different objects. Okay, so I just say join room and it generates a random display name and a random avatar, accept, and then it has to connect to my microphone. I will block it now, otherwise it will be a problem. But let me just block and I just enter the room without my microphone, which is okay. So here you see, I can invite you to this room, but I have to warn you that it will be difficult to join multiple video calls. So maybe you can see from mine, but I will leave the link here if you want to join later. So this is the link to the room. It was through the invite, and this is the room code that you might have to enter when you enter the room. But yes, please be careful. If you join, you might get disconnected from this call. But I will show you on my screen. So this is a virtual room. You can create and you can kind of manipulate all the objects once you sign in. And here you can actually use your keyboard to move up and down the arrow keys or the WAZS keys. Oh, great. A lot of people have joined. Fantastic. So everybody has very good devices and internet connections. At least my laptop is starting to heat up again. But here you can see, you can go forward. And these are just virtual spaces that you can interact in. So I can see some people have joined the lobby. I hope you're able to enter the room. It's with the room key, room code. And I'll just say the room code again, 791437. And so you can walk around and you can see, I can see that there are 18 people here, which is great. And I can see all the people. Yes, I saw somebody. So you can see all of us are now in the same virtual space and it's more interactive. You can go forward and backward and interact with different objects. We don't have obviously our speakers on in this, but you can actually hear people as well. So you can talk to people, go near these, and have a more virtual experience instead of sitting in front of a camera, but you can actually explore these different rooms and different spaces. Now I see that 23 people have joined. That's fantastic. Very good. So but my laptop is having, my laptop finds this a little bit too much. I'm going to try and see if I can go back a bit. I was near the wall. But here I'm just now using my arrow keys just to navigate and go up and down this space. And I can see that multiple people have already explored and gone up and down the stairs looking at this artwork. So this is like a museum, or you can say a gallery, and it has different artwork. And you can use the mouse to orient yourself, look up, look down. It might be a bit dizzying. Sorry if I'm moving the screen too quickly, but as you can see, it's a different space. And you can also have some sort of interactive sessions here with your students and classroom. And you can talk to people in this system. So we're not doing it because we are connected to the Google Meet, but here you can do it. So I will stop sharing this now. The name of this tool is Mozilla Hub, M-O-Z-I-L-L-A-H-U-B, Mozilla Hub. Yes, thank you, Deepthi. Okay, so please feel free to enjoy the room. I will leave it on. And now we go to the last one. And I will have to sign into this browser. Again, nope, wrong ID. I will just quickly sign in and show you. It's also similar, but a little bit more constrained. So this was very open space, and this other one is like rooms. You will see. And the link for this Cuomo space is this. So here's the final tool. Okay, we have like 5 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm now going to move to this Cuomo space, and this is the link here in the chat. This is another tool. Very quickly, here's some information about it. This is Cuomo space. Here you can see you have multiple rooms. This has a limit of 30 people per room. And this is how the rooms are divided. Very similar again, but instead of avatars, you see the other person's video. So there's no avatar, but you actually see the people. So it feels really nice. And you can go around these rooms. And then what happens is that you can set the audio level in the rooms. If it's broadcasting, then everybody in the room, can hear everybody else. But you can also set like these circles, like in an actual room, right? We can only hear people who are close to us. So you can have multiple people in the same room having different conversations in different parts of the room. So it's a very nice sort of online party collaborative place where if you want to maybe have a group discussion, you can see the students in the same room, and you can go to them in the different corners of the room while they're discussing and not interrupt the discussion. So there can be different ways to also use this. So I have to close the Mozilla Hub. So I'm going to close this room. There are 6 people. I'm sorry, you might get kicked out. I'm not sure, maybe not, but I will leave. And now we'll go to Cuomo space. So I'm sharing my screen again, and I am joining, but I will not use any video settings because then I will have a problem. So I'm just going to block it from my camera and video. So here, when you join, then I have created 2 rooms. You can go to any one of them. It rings a doorbell. And here, as you see, so it does want my camera and microphone, but I can just show you. You can go up and down with the arrow keys. Instead of SS, it would be my video here. And for example, it has cool things like you can pour yourself a drink. And if you go to the DJ place, you can actually listen to music here. So now there's music playing, and you can change the type of music, I think, and you can have different things. So you can explore the room. And you might see this bright circle. So the idea is that people in this circle are the ones that I can hear if my audio was on. And people outside the circle, I can't hear them. So in this way, you can have closed discussions and stuff. And the rooms are very bright and different objects, and there can be some hidden puzzles or things in the places. For example, the pour drink and the music. So there can be different things that are like in the room that you can kind of explore and meet people. So the people who are here, please use your arrow keys to go up and down. It's very simple. And please try the music on the left. There's a DJ table. If you go there, you will hear music, and it's very nice. And then when you want to exit, you just click on exit, and then I can go to the other room. And this is a living room. And here I can try different things. I can also move with my mouse, but I find it easier to move. And here's like a small pantry. You can get something to drink again. Here's a piano that is playing music. And here's like a seating space. So you can't see it now because all of us are in a different call. But for example, here, if we were there together, then we see each other's video. So it actually really feels like you're in this virtual space together. So it's a little bit better than meetings. So this is Coma Space. I will exit it now. And I think there's like 2 minutes to go for this presentation, but this was actually it. So we did it in time. Yes. So thank you very much. These were some of the tools that are interesting to use during, interesting to use online. And we tried to cover them through sort of typical video calling and the accessibility features that they have now to make it easier with a difficult internet connection. Then we went through online assessment tools and evaluation tools and collaborative tools like online whiteboards. And then in the end, we also looked at 2 different ways of having a virtual meeting that could be very nice and fun. So thank you very much for having me. I can stop presenting now. And if you have any questions, I'm still here for some time. And if there's anything else, please let me know. And please sign up if you would like more information. And if you would like the slides, I'm happy to share them. It has all the links and all the names, and you can try all of these out yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any questions, please? मुकेश सर चैट बॉक्स में कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं तो प्लीज देख लीजिए.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just checking it.
Okay.
There is a question about the rural. How do we empower them in rural areas? There are parents and families in rural area, and how do we empower them? Can there be is there anything which you can, because in rural areas there are issues of poor networking condition, or people are not having gadgets. So how can they be empowered, or virtual classroom can be conducted in rural or remote areas? What he wanted to ask, and the Kavita Sharma wanted to ask.
Okay, yes, that's a very good question. A lot of these tools depend on a good internet connection. At least I saw Kahoot was possible to do at self-paced. So of course, we're talking about virtual online tools. So they all depend on at least, a mobile device with some sort of data connection. So that is definitely a challenge. The presentation today was assuming that we have one device that is connected to the internet. And then what can where do we go from there? That was the basic requirement. I completely understand that this cannot be, this might not be the case in rural areas, and there are other different challenges. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure like what could be done if somebody doesn't have access to devices or has a bad internet connection. Some of these tools are available as self-paced, so you don't have to be online, and there could be different ways of using it. But yeah, otherwise it's very difficult. So I can see some more questions. One was that most of these are paid. Yes, these definitely. So most of these, so Google is not paid. So the Jamboard is free. The Myro and Padlet and all Kahoot, Socrative, all of them, they have this thing where they have a free version, which has certain features. And then they have a paid version, which has more features. So right now, today, I didn't use a paid version for anything. All of these were made with the free version. With the Myroboard, I signed up for an educator account, which was free. And that gave me some more flexibility. But yes, these are definitely for premium services. They are paid, but the free services might be pretty good to use by themselves. And generally by the free services, if there's a limitation on, for example, how many quizzes you can do a month, you can always create through multiple email IDs. Sorry, I don't have another solution. These are the popular tools, and to make money, they always have some sort of subscription fees.
I have one query. Can we have something like not online basically? It could be pre-installed devices, pre-installed to package, which could be given, and that could be student can fill up and send it through mail, something like that.
Yes, that's a really good suggestion. I think we have to see if someone's doing research on this. I can look it up if there's like a research on this. I think there were some tools, but I have to get back to you because I kind of picked the most popular ones that were available. But I will have to check what tools or what mechanisms researchers are using to access, rural parts of the country.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to share your experience or would like to
Ask any question.
have any question?
There's a question in the chat I can see. Is it difficult to use with children with special needs? That's again a very, very great question. I have to mention again, the main point of today was to introduce you to all these different tools that are available. I did not cater it specifically to children with special needs. For instance, I think Kahoot works really well because of the flexibility it had in terms of how questions could be formed and how answers could be color coded or some sort of shape matching. But for the others, you will have to see how you incorporate that. We could try another session at some point where I could focus on tools specifically for children with special needs. I don't think there's anything. It will be from research, and then it won't be as professional as the tools we had today. So these tools were very professionally made. These are very professional services. Research tools and applications, there's always a catch. They are not as robust. So, but that is something we can see. For example, looking at then applications coming from research for rural areas and also for children with special needs. So that probably is its own own seminar because it would have a slightly different sort of challenge and slightly different approach. So the idea with today was to kind of introduce you to all the different types of applications that are available. There's another very good question on any app with augmentative reality. Yes, actually, I have to check. Again, there are applications but with AR, augmentative reality, you do need the headsets, but it is possible. So it's like, I think Google has a whole AR suite of applications that can be checked. And I think you can still see them on the browser. YouTube has started some videos that are actually in 360 degrees, that are shot in 360 degrees, but you can view it through a browser and interact with it. So they are definitely, I don't know if there are any professionally made, sort of free professional services, but from research, for sure, there are, and that can also be discussed. I could send an email, in some weeks, kind of collecting those applications that are coming from research.
Ma'am, I'd like to ask a question, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
It's related to these virtual platforms that you showed us. Is it possible to create a virtual platform as if it is like, say, with animals around, so that the children feel like they are going in it? Is it possible to do that with these spaces, or like a fire station, something like that?
That's a very good question. I think it is possible with the Mozilla Hub, the second last application that we checked. I think that has more, but I haven't taken up an account in that to see. But I think that in the space where you saw all the ducks that were there in the paintings, I think it's possible to change the images there. So you can have images of animals, maybe not, maybe in 2D, if not 3D. But I can check this as well. It's a good question, like a more child-friendly virtual space, right?
And yes, ma'am. So sound also can be added in these things, ma'am. If we put an image and sound also.
Yes, I think you can. Yeah, I would check out Mozilla Hubs for this. I think it's more powerful than the Cuomo space. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
ठीक है
Okay.
उसको बुलाओ क्या नाम है
Now, I hope all of you have benefited from today's webinar. Feedback link shared with in the chat box. Do that. And now I would like to thank Dr. Sumita Sharma for her time, precious time, and for her sharing her knowledge and experience, which will help us to create our teaching methods more interactive with the help of virtual platform discussed in the session. And we practice a lot in the session also. And I also thank our director, Sir Shri Ram Kumar, for motivating us to organize and deliver such programs. And I thank our principal in charge, Dr. Hemant Singh Keshwal, for his continuous support, guidance for each and every program. And I also thank Mr. Mukesh Manocha and Anilji for their technical support. I would like to thank all the participants for being so patient and interactive during the session. Thanks a lot. Thank you all. Thank you, Sumita ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.